Hey, my name is Kerry Strom. I'm at WHOI Marine Ops, and here we're on the back deck of the Atlantis. She is our Global Class vessel, and she's 270 feet long, and we have a 60-day endurance, which means we can be at sea for that amount of time. We have 22 crew, and we can have 34 scientists on board. We do about 12 missions a year, and that amounts to about 270 days. And every 2 to 3 weeks, this deck is totally re-vetted, and we have a new setup. So we get scientists on every 2 to 3 weeks, and it's a different mission. Atlantis just finished its 5-year regulatory dry dock, and Alvin just finished its 5-year overhaul. And we're about to take off on Atlantis for an engineering test of Alvin.
Hey, Kerry.
Oh, hey, Bruce.
How
Good
are
to
you?
see you. So you got the senior pilot of Alvin, Bruce Strickrott.
Wow.
Tell us about the overhaul. How's it going?
Well,
Anything new?
We're almost over the overhaul. There you go. See, that was perfect timing, right? We're done. No, we've been 6 months putting the sub back together, doing all sorts of maintenance, and there it is. It's beautiful. Alvin is a submarine that can go down to 6,500 meters. We actually achieved that depth in 2021 for the first time. And Alvin takes 3 people, 1 pilot and 2 passengers, down into the deepest parts of the ocean, all around the planet, to go do amazing science and see wonderful, amazing environments. And I'm one of the pilots. I've been doing it for 30 years. I love it. It's wonderful to take people down there. We are leaving imminently on a voyage that will take us out to Bermuda to test the sub from basically 0 feet all the way down, or 0 meters, all the way down to 6,500 meters over a period of about 13 days. We just finished a major teardown and rebuild of the sub, something that we do every 5 years. And we started in October, tore it all apart. Now the sub is here. You might see some of our pilots working in the background, doing some final things to the sub before we actually get ready to test it. And down we'll go for the dive that will give us our Navy certification. Alvin's been at it for 62 years, and to put that in perspective, I've been at it for 62 years. So this program is a reflection of many, many, many teams of people who started it in the 60s, and here we are. It's 2026, and we have what, in all intents and purposes, is a new submarine. And it's nice and shiny. We're real proud of it, and it's really great when we finish. We pull it out of the big hangar over here, just over the edge of the ship, and train it onto the ship. That's a big day when we see it land on the cradle, and we feel like, wow, we're back on the ship, and we get back to work. We wouldn't be able to go to the places we go to without a vehicle like Alvin. It's purposely built to keep humans safe as we travel down to a depth where the difference in the pressure is over 600 atmospheres greater than where we are right here. When we're underwater at 6,500 meters, there are over 3 million pounds of force pushing on the hatch, trying to push that hatch in. 3.3 million pounds of force is what we've calculated. That's the equivalent of 3 747 aircraft fully loaded, stacked on top of a 21-inch disc of titanium. So there's no way we're going to push on that and get out. But luckily, gratefully, we have superb engineering that designed the hull and the rest of the sub. And when you're in there, you're comfortable, it's nice and calm. You know, we got great views, got great music, we got great people. It's a spectacular thing to do.
Welcome to our computer lab. This is the Scientific Shipboard Services Group's office, as well where the chief scientist sits. And today we have Anna Michel, the chief scientist of Deep Submergence. Hey, Anna. How's it going?
Great, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to see Atlantis take off with Alvin soon, so looking forward to that.
Great. So I'm Anna Michel. I'm the chief scientist for the National Deep Submergence Facility, and we operate 3 vehicles for scientists across the whole country. We operate Alvin, which you've learned about perhaps from Kerry today, Jason, which is our remotely operated vehicle, and Sentry, which is our AUV, or autonomous underwater vehicle.
So Anna, why are these vehicles so important for deep sea discovery?
So these vehicles give us access to these deep parts of the ocean. So we can take people down, or we actually have 2 robots that we can send down, and we can learn things that we can't do without sending vehicles or people down to the seafloor.
And what's the difference between Alvin and the Jason ROV?
That's a great question. So Jason's a robot and it's tethered to the ship. So that means that the robot drives around, but the pilot sits on the ship and it can drive around and everyone who's on the ship can see the video. Alvin is our human-occupied submersible where we actually put people in and send Alvin down to the seafloor. It's completely disconnected from the ship, but we can talk to Alvin throughout the dive. We also have Sentry, which is our autonomous underwater vehicle, and that one is not tethered. It has no people on it. We give it a mission and we send it off, and it can do things like map at the seafloor.
Yeah, and Sentry is more agile, and depending on the battery and where you are in the world, it could stay down for...
Sentry typically stays down about 15 hours at a time.
15 hours.
Often we use it overnight if we're using Alvin during the daytime.
Yeah.
It can go out, it can map, it can get some different kinds of samples. But it's different than something like Jason or Alvin, which can get samples from the seafloor.
Yeah.
Sentry typically makes maps, it takes images, it can do some kind of sampling, like it can get larvae, it can grab some water samples. So they do different things, and we use them for different kinds of ocean discovery.
So Anna, what's coming online next? We have MROV and Deep Adventure?
Deep Venture.
Deep Venture.
So on this next cruise, we're going to bring out the 2 Deep Venture vehicles. These are small vehicles that can actually land on the seafloor. So we'll be doing some engineering testing with those. And we have the MROV, or the medium scale ROV, that's currently being built. And that will be a smaller vehicle than Jason. It won't be able to dive as deep, but it'll be able to do a lot of the work that Jason does. So we'll be adding this new ROV to our fleet of vehicles.
So Anna, why should we continue to explore the deep ocean?
So Kerry, do you know how much of the deep ocean we've ever seen with our eyes or with a camera?
I don't know, 10%?
So a paper came out about a year ago that said less than 0.001% of the deep ocean we've seen, either with our eyes or with a camera. So that tells you how little of the deep ocean we've actually seen. So there's so much that we haven't been able to discover yet. So that's one of the big reasons, is that we just don't know what's down there.
Yeah. How do the vehicles help us answer science questions?
Well, with the vehicles, we can do all sorts of different kinds of ocean science. We can see what the biology that's living down there. We can collect microbes, so really, really tiny biology. We can study the chemistry of the ocean. We can get rocks to understand the geology. So we can work kind of across disciplines and really get a better understanding of how the earth and the ocean work.
Yeah. It's so cool. Thanks. I really appreciate your perspective.
Thanks, Kerry.
Let's check out the science berthing. Follow me. So here we have a typical science berth, 3 bunks, a desk underneath, some storage, sink, lockers, and a shared bathroom with the cabin on the other side. So there would be the same complement on the other side of this Jack and Jill bathroom. And we work 24 hours a day. We make the most of the time at sea. So very often someone could be sleeping during the day and go on the night shift. So we have these cover-ups for privacy and to keep light out. Earplugs, eye masks, always mandatory on the ship to get any sleep. Hey, welcome to the mess deck. This is where the magic happens. We've got our chef here that makes the best food in the fleet. We often win the Chow Award. 3 fabulous meals a day here. And then this is our mess deck where the crew eats. It is the highlight of everybody's day. After 3 weeks at sea or longer, it's a little bit like Groundhog Day, so food is really important. Hey, Senrisa.
Hi.
What's on the menu today?
Tonight I'm doing kind of a Chinese flair night, so I have Chinese 5-spice chicken thighs with sesame rice, roasted vegetables with baby corn mushrooms, snap peas, and then I'm doing tempura shrimp and egg rolls.
And isn't it true that you accommodate all dietary needs? So
yes,
vegan, vegetarian,
gluten-free. I actually take a lot of pride. A lot of chief stewards kind of get overwhelmed by that, but I actually love making them happy. So when I get the dietary list, which I just got yesterday, I just get excited to make them smile and feel comfortable on board. So when we're doing Alvin operations before the crew enters the sub, usually it's some sort of hearty sandwich. I awkwardly like to make submarine sandwiches a lot, which is funny, because it's going onto a submarine.
I know you're awesome because I get the post-cruise reports,
Oh,
and they're always spectacular.
That's great to hear.
Thank you. Hey, Isaac.
Hey,
Good to see you.
good to see you.
This is Isaac Vandor, National Deep Submergence Facilities software technician. What are you doing here today?
Yeah, so I'm up in Alvin Top Lab. This is where when the sub is submerged, we talk to it. So every 30 minutes, the pilots check in via telephone. We also track it, so we have pretty persistent, within a minute of where the sub is on the bottom, where it is in absolute position compared to where the ship is on the planet. We also can talk to it that way as well and get data up and send messages back and forth to the sub that way.
That's awesome. So did you do an overhaul while Alvin was in overhaul?
Oh, we changed quite a bit.
You did?
Whole new software architecture, new operating systems. Yeah.
Excellent. Looking forward to testing it out in Bermuda.
I'm very much looking forward. It's time to go.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks.
Yeah.
So welcome to the Atlantis Bridge. I'll try to go over some instrumentation here we have on the console. We have 2 radars on each side, and here we have our electronic charts. We have dynamic positioning, which allows us to keep our coordinates within a meter up to sea state 6, I believe. Here we have propulsion, steering, and a repeater station for our engine room. And you'll see on each bridge wing there's a canvas covering another console, and that's also where we can do ship handling. So when we're docking, the captain or the officer on watch can steer and manage the vessel and keep an eye on all the over-the-side operations so that things are done safely.